Well, the only way I said I would not be doing this is if Matt Barkley showed up on Sunday and beat this team at home, which he didn't. But unfortunately, that didn't matter because they still lost. So even though, I didn't have to go through the misery of losing to another backup, we still lost in a game that, to say we should have won is an absolute understatement. There's games over the past decade that, me and all of us are probably never going to forget. And I know there's a ton for me. Obviously the Eagles game last year, overtime. Obviously, I'm going to exclude the playoffs. The game against the Jaguars 2 years ago, Week 17, the stiff arm game to make it to the playoffs. There's a lot of games. Last year against the Chargers, the 2-point conversion with a grown-ass man running back we did not use at the 1-yard line. There's so many games that you're never going to forget as a Titan fan. But this one, folks, I think this one is going to top them all. And not just because how they lost, but just because of the fact that this game was so winnable. Was more winnable than the Colt game. It was more winnable than the Jaguar game. It was, really. And listen, I'm going to do my best not to ramble because once again, just like the end of that fucking Jacksonville game, I'm just in such a swirl of emotions that I can't really gather my thoughts, but I'm going to do my best. Forget the kicking part, okay? Obviously, this guy was not in the league before the season started. Well, this guy didn't have a job before we signed him for a reason, okay? Yes, he was really good in 2016, okay? I sold 300 cars in 2016. I ain't tracking towards that this year, okay? You're not great every single year. And this guy had a phenomenal year a couple years back, and now he's shit. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Forget the fact that he missed the first one. Forget the fact that he missed the second one. When you put him out for a third one, that is questionable. Questionable. Okay, he did. Because I think the second one might have been tipped. But it's still questionable. But when you send him out for the fourth field goal, when you're down 7 points in Buffalo territory with 7 minutes to go, and this guy couldn't hit the broadside of a fucking building, I'm sorry. Anyone with balls that owns this team would have fired the coach then and there. I don't care what the contract is. I don't care what his reputation is. That is, and I called up CBS Sports in Nashville yesterday. That is the radio station. The worst play calling decision by a Titans head coach in the history of this franchise. And I challenge anyone who watches this video to find me a worse decision by a head coach than that field goal attempt. I'm sorry, if you find it, God bless you, because I sure as hell can't. And I've watched almost 500 Titans games since I've been a diehard fan. I've been a fan since I was a little kid, but since I've been all in on this team, 500. I've never, ever seen a worse call than that. A field goal does you nothing. Zero. And what did we find out in Cleveland? Since we have the best punter in football, if you pit a team deep in their own end, good things can happen. There's plenty of time left. We're shutting them down, with the exception of a couple plays. What happens when you pit them real deep? I don't know, turnover? I don't know, safeties? That's if you don't go for it on fourth down, which is the smarter decision. But even if you didn't want to, punt it. You let a guy attempt his career-long when he's shanking 30-yarders into the concession stands in the concourse, I'm sorry. I love Amy Adams. I really, really do. I know she wants nothing more to see her father look down on this team winning a Super Bowl. But I mean, and I like Vrabel as a person. I really do. You look at him, he just looks like football. He gets fired up. He looks like a moron on the sideline, but I'd be willing to overlook that if he was a good coach. My God, he's a terrible coach. Terrible coach. End of story. And it ain't going to get better. Unless someone literally says to him, talks to him like I'm speaking right now, hey, jerk off. You're making decisions that Pee-wee football coaches wouldn't be dumb enough to make. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think anyone's going to say to him, listen, asshole, you are losing games for this team on your own. And you don't have pads on. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. And I honestly, if I had the keys to this castle, I would tell him, sorry, that's it. Goodbye. Goodbye. He had one game in Philadelphia where he made a decision that if he didn't make, his resume would be even bigger shit than it is. And now it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. You can argue that this guy's coached a year and a quarter, and there has been 3 games that he has ruined for the team. San Diego last year, Jacksonville this year. I'm going to say it again. I don't care how many times I've said it. I don't care if anyone disagrees. Putting a Dory Jackson behind that to get that punt, I think ruined that game. Ruined it. But whatever. That's 2. And then today, the 4th and 4. Just go for it. Go for it. I don't want to ramble on about this play, but I had to get that off my chest. I'm done with Vrabel. I'm sick of him saying, oh, I'm going to stick by this. Oh, yeah, you're going to stick by your decision? Then you cut the guy next week. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. The next day, you cut him. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. You're just making yourself look worse at that point. Oh, yeah, I'd do it again. But by the way, we're moving on to another guy who all he does is miss kicks. God. I'd rather take an undrafted college kid. Go to the draft boards. I don't know if there's a lot of draft boards showing rankings on kickers, but go to the draft board of last year of undrafted kickers and just pick the top guy that's left and give him a shot. Because at least there's not previous situations in professional sports that they have not done well in. If you understand what I'm saying. Cody Parkey has had one of the most catastrophic events take place in kicker history. At least with someone who was in college last year, he doesn't have any previous shit that could be in his head. Whatever the case may be. They're taking Parkey. He was really good 2 years ago also, just like Santos. Frankly, I don't think they should go for one more field goal for the rest of the year, but whatever. I'm going to blaze through this quick. I don't want to be 17 minutes like last time. This game, I mean players, etc. First thing, Delaney Walker. Where the hell is he, okay? Where the hell is he? Arthur Smith, I don't know how you don't get a top 10 tight end the ball somehow, some way. I don't know how you don't do it. If I were him, I'd be fuming. Whatever. It is what it is. Hopefully, it starts to take off. Offensive line is the worst offensive line in football. I forget his name. O-line coach should have been gone 3 weeks ago. I'm not going to go, I'm going to go quick here, okay? Should have been gone. People are saying put Conklin at right guard. I think that's blasphemous. I think it's stupid. Dennis Kelly didn't see one snap last week. He's got to play. He has to play. I'm sorry. Nate Davis ain't ready. Put him at right guard. Put Dennis Kelly at right guard. And maybe that'll help Conklin out. Okay. Mariota, people are saying again he, isn't doing enough. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Sorry. End of story. Worst O-line of football. I don't care what anyone says. You put Mariota on the Colts, and they're probably 5-0. I am confident with that estimation. Just so you know, they're probably 5-0 because he is a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett. The difference is our guy doesn't have a tenth of a second, and Brissett has roughly 5-6 seconds per drop back. That's that. You think Mariota's the problem? Still, you're an idiot. Defense was very good again. I'm not going to really say anything about it. They were very good. From what I was told, this Buffalo Bills team was a pretty damn good scoring offense up until last week. And once again, I didn't see much bend. I know you say bend, don't break. 14 points, missed field goals up the ass, never had field position on defense. That's a win in my book. Nothing to say about them. Derrick Henry was top 5 defense in the league. You got to be okay with I think he finished with 70 yards, whatnot. Penalties screwed us. Officiating screwed us. All combined, this is the reason why I'm never going to forget this game. All right, I'm going to shorten this up. Moving forward quickly into next week. We're playing two teams that played each other last week. Denver, San Diego. Both teams suck. Denver's got Phillip Lindsay, that's it. And a defense. Obviously, having a defense is great. Offensively, we should once again shut them down. But you gotta figure out the O-line. Alright. My estimation is that they win. And then they lose to the Chargers at home. So that's what they do every week. Plus, we're going to get Jeffrey Simmons back probably in week 7, which is an even bigger reason why I know we're going to lose, because everything that I know is positive for this team. They'll win, get Lawan back, lose. Win, get Simmons on that line, lose. Who's to blame there? Consistently. Who's to blame there? Coaching. I like Vrabel, but I'm done with him. Fucking done with him. That's it. See you next week.